Hello everyone, I'm Fozzie, or Cam, and I'm here with my co-host Will. How you doing today, Will?
Doing overall good, Cam. Our Pats lost. Wow, 47-17 on
Yeah, I
Saturday.
sure
So I
did.
would say I would say that I'm doing as well as I can after that. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Alright, welcome to the Everything Podcast, guys. And today we have, actually, a lot of news. Um, so we will be creating a new mini-series for the Everything Podcast, like I told you, Will, um,
Yeah.
called The Only Movie Show. And it's not a whole new channel. It's not gonna take over the Everything Podcast or anything like that. It's just gonna be a little series, a little mini series dedicated to only movies that we like, movies that we think you guys will like, and a bunch and stuff like that. So you'll see rankings, reviews, and just pointing out Easter eggs and some of your favorite Marvel movies, which have quite a few Easter eggs in them. And it's not just movies; it's like TV shows, which I'm sure you got that. But I just want to let you guys know that. So we'll be. It's not. We're gonna try to get our upload schedule to be a little better, because we took a little break there, and we came back last week. So I think we're gonna try to get back on the one episode per week. We're gonna try to get back into that, and we're also probably once a week going to be making an only movies show episode, hosted by either me or Will. Uh, and it will usually be in a video format, but it all depends. It could be a podcast format. Also, we are making a change to the Everything Podcast, like the podcast you're listening to right now. So usually we have a bit of a schedule we usually follow, and I was a fan of it until we started live streaming, which made it a little more difficult, because what we used to do was start off with music, then go to sports, then our movie review, and then our movie of the week. So I feel like that on live streams it was kind of a pain. So now we're just gonna try to mesh it all together. We're gonna not have as tight of a schedule. You'll still hear the sports. You'll still hear the movie review and the movie of the week, and we'll also talk some music. So it's a little change. It's a kind of, I feel like this podcast needed it, and I think it'll help it out, especially during live streams. So we don't have such strict of a schedule, because a lot on live streams, a lot of our viewers want to hear sports, so we can talk about sports for a while. Then we can go to movies whenever we want, so it kind of gives us more freedom. But enough of me talking. I apologize for taking up 3 minutes of your time. And well, I think we should get started with, why don't we talk a little sports? Because we
Yeah,
have that ability now. We can do what we
yeah.
want. Woo!
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And no, Cam, that was a great informal 3 minutes of information that you just gave everybody there. We don't have to talk about it for too long because I think it'll be painful for the both of us. But what do you want to say about the Patriots losing 47-17 to the Buffalo Bills on Saturday night?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't even watch that whole ridiculous game.
I did not either. We stopped watching at about, I don't know, the 7 minute mark of the third quarter. So I did, or no, sorry, not the third quarter, the fourth quarter. So I did not watch that full game either.
It was atrocious, and there was really not a point in that game where I thought the Patriots were actually gonna win. And I feel like that's pathetic, for one, because these are the Patriots we're talking about. They're a really good team. But I feel like they just weren't in it to win it. I don't know what the heck was happening out there, to be honest with you. And I feel like it was a little, it was kind of sad, actually. And I feel like we can do a lot better than that. And that was not our best performance. I feel like they gave up a little bit, actually.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's a good way to put it. Even just during the first drive of the game where Buffalo marched down the field and scored a touchdown. I just got kind of a bad feel right as the game started. I mean, Allen was running for, tons of yards and stuff. Just from literally the first drive, it just did not feel like the Patriots game to me, Cam.
Yeah, it just in a lot of people have heard like get mad at Mac Jones for this, and I don't think he's the one you should be blaming for this.
Definitely not.
And a lot of people have been blaming him for this, and I feel like it's just not right. He doesn't deserve this, and we all have to remember that he isn't Tom Brady. No one is actually. No one is like him, and I feel like people need to stop being so hard on Mac. He's just a rookie, and he did a really good job with what he had this season, which wasn't a lot. And I feel like Bill Belichick didn't exactly help him. And, well, it depends. I feel like Bill didn't give it his all. I really don't know. I know it's not Mac Jones's fault, and I think we need a better team, to be honest with you. We just need a better team, and this has been the Patriots' main issue for like 2 or 3 years now. The Tom Brady's last year here, we had an awful team. I mean, sure, we've always had not A-list stars on our team, but Tom Brady's usually coached them. But his last season, he didn't do that, that's just shameful, for one. And I just think that that's what started it, and now we can't rely on these B or even C-list talents. I think we need to go up a little bit, and I know Mac Jones won't be able to coach these B or C-list talents like Tom Brady did, except for his last year. So I just think we need to. I think we need to get a better team, a few more A-list stars, because I feel like Bill needs to realize that we are not the Tom Brady Patriots anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it is still, amazing that, like, in their second season without Tom Brady, the Pats were at one point the top seed in the AFC, but there are definitely areas where we need to improve. And I think that has to start on the defensive side of the ball, because I'll get to the game against Buffalo on Saturday, but I thought during our second game against the Bills during the regular season, the offense didn't do awful in the second half. Harris was able to score a couple TDs and bring us back a bit, but I just felt like after Harris would score those TDs, the defense wouldn't stop the Bills from marching right back down the field and scoring again. And then Saturday, the Pats D just got absolutely dominated. So I think, obviously there are things we could do better on offense as well, but I think it's the defense that needs a serious look at here.
Yeah, I agree with you there. That's a good point, and I just feel like I said, they need more stars. They just need more. And I don't think Bill Belichick realizes that. Or maybe he does, and is just not doing anything about it. But that doesn't sound like him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not in a, all, negative mindset here with the Pats. I'm glad that they had a, winning record, 2 seasons into not having TB12. And I do think, we will be able to continue to have, winning records going into the future. That was just not the way that I wanted to go out. Like, I mean, that was a complete just no fight exit. So, I'm still trending positive overall, but that was just a really sad way to end the year.
I would agree with you there, Will, and I just feel it's embarrassing, It really is. And I feel like
yeah,
this wasn't the best way to go out.
No, it definitely wasn't. And in certain situations, you can just show a bit more fight, man. And the Pats didn't show enough fight on Sunday night. Again, I just didn't feel a good vibe right from the start. So I think the Pats will be back next year. I think they'll, have another, really solid to good season. But I think, this is a off season where they have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just don't. I hope Bill does something about it, to be honest with you. Because I really. Alright, I want to get your opinion on this. This is a little off topic than what we're doing right now. When do you think Bill Belichick will retire?
I think he's still got a really solid amount of years left. I know he was asked if he still planned to coach into his 70s after the game, and a classic Bill Belichick answer, he said that would be accurate. So I think he's still got a really solid amount of years left, and I'm happy about that too, because I thought that overall he did do a very good job this year, because at one point we were the number one seed in the AFC.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like he did do a good job for the most part. Obviously, like I just said, he needs to do something about this team, get more A-list stars, but I've said some things about him that may not be true about him on this podcast, but I did I think did I say this on the podcast? Did I say that Bill Belichick it's not Bill Belichick who did this, it was Tom Brady? I feel like that was something I said on the podcast, but now I'm realizing that even if I didn't say it, that's what I was thinking at the time. But I feel like it wasn't all Tom Brady. Sure, he was a big part, and as we can see, he is doing an amazing job in Tampa Bay. As much as I despise looking at his dumb face, I feel like it wasn't all Brady in New England.
Yeah, I don't either, and I think that the Pats could have, surrounded him with better pieces in his final years. I just thought it was just kind of just collective time to move on. I just think it wasn't right for Brady to be with the Pats anymore, and good for them. I drafted a bit better, last year, getting their, future, franchise QB.
Yeah, that is one thing, but you can't just have one.
Last year they drafted Kyle Duggar and some other guys who have been, solid for them as well. So I know it's not, DK Metcalf.
No, it's not. It's just Nikhil Harry. That's the level we're at. We're at Nikhil Harry level. So we could have gotten AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, but no, we have Nikhil Harry, who is one of the biggest flops in NFL history. I'm not gonna lie.
If you want something to prove that, watching the Bills game, there was this one pass that he dropped, and there was a pass after that I think was thrown to him and was intercepted. But in the second regular season game against the Bills this year, Harry had this one drop, and I was just thinking, bust.
Yeah, he is. I mean, name a really remarkable thing that has really contributed to a win. Like what has he done?
Has he? I mean, did they have him doing some type of blocking or something? I mean, I don't know. I can't really name anything.
Yeah, I feel like he is one of the biggest flops in maybe NFL history. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Now, on a positive note, they did sign, Hunter Henry, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar, Johnny Smith in the offseason. And I do think, Henry came in and had a very nice year this year, and Bourne had a nice year as well. So I know these aren't the flashiest receivers in the world, but I did think they did a good job of. Yeah, I thought they did a good job of improving their receiving core from how bad it was the seasons before this season.
Yeah, I feel like they're not even close to A-list talents, but they're holding their own. I feel like they're holding their own. But
yeah,
no, Antonio Brown. Actually, no, that was a bad example. Antonio Brown's a trash can. Also, I never got your opinion. Well, how do you feel about that whole Antonio Brown thing?
I mean, you know, let me put it this way. Not only do I believe that Antonio Brown will not be signed by another NFL team, I actually don't want him to be signed by another NFL team because I think that right now he just needs to go and, get the help that he needs and the help that he should get. So, I mean, I can say some other things, and maybe I will if we get into this conversation a bit farther. But to be honest, not only do I not think he will be signed by another team, I don't want him to be signed by another team, and I just want him to go and get the help that he needs. So that's kind of where I'm at with it,
Yeah,
Cam.
that's good. I feel like he definitely needs help. He made that very clear with
Yeah, I just
just
feel
going
like
out.
he is a person that whenever you think he's starting to turn it around, something else happens. Like, I feel like he is so beyond broken the trust level at this point. Case in point, he gets signed by the Buccaneers, plays all last season. Then you find out that he faked his vaccination card. But then it's like, okay, he's cleared that. They like what they're seeing from him. They're going to bring him back. And then a few weeks ago, that happens on the field. And I know he came out with a whole report on why that is, but I just feel like whenever you think this guy has started to turn it around, something else happens.
Yeah, it's to be honest with you, it's just I kind of do feel bad for the guy because clearly he has some problems.
Absolutely.
But then again, this is also really ridiculous and not. It's just ridiculous, and I feel like he just needs help.
Yeah. Now,
And to think that wasn't he living with Tom Brady at one point?
yes, he was. Yes, he was. And I know he kind of came out and I think cleared it up recently, but how do you come out publicly and turn against Tom Brady the way you did when he is letting you live inside his house? Like, AB, come on, man.
It's sad. It really is. Like I
Yeah,
said,
and
he just needs help.
for sure. And not that I thought Tampa Bay would win the Super Bowl, even with him playing because of the injuries they were dealing with. But that kind of officially kind of wiped away, I think, at least their chances for this year. I thought they would, beat the Eagles on Sunday, but with the injuries they've been having, when they face a team like the Packers or even the Cardinals or the Rams, who they'll face next Sunday, I don't see them beating them this year. I think if they can be healthy, they can come back and compete for a Super Bowl again next year. But I think their Super Bowl chances are shot for this season.
Yeah. Really? Do you?
I mean, I don't like to bet against TB12, but I just think it's a bit too much, and they just seemed to be getting injuries left and right. I mean, they had two offensive linemen get injured on Sunday, so I just can't see them beating a team like the Packers per se this year.
Yeah. I see that, I guess. I mean, but as Tom always finds a way. It's just ridiculous. I mean,
He does, and look, if he comes out and wins with Tampa Bay this season, I think that'll be a top five Super Bowl for Tom Brady, given the circumstance that he's in. So look, if TB12 does it this year, then I will never say that I don't think he can win in a situation like this again.
yeah, he the fact that he's gotten this far again, he just no matter what I say about him, he's a legend.
He is, and he led the NFL in all four major categories this season, like TDs, yards, and two other things.
Yeah, legend.
No doubt.
All right, so why don't we talk about some music? So what have you been listening to, Will?
I've actually been listening to a lot of One Republic.
Really?
Recently,
I'm a fan of them. I've heard some of their songs. I've heard most of their hits, but I haven't heard of the more They're more deep cut songs. I've just most of their hits, like
I've been
Counting Stars, I believe, and that's one of my favorite songs, actually.
Oh, that's just a great song.
It really is.
But yeah, no, I've been listening to many other hits, a couple other albums, Native from 2013 and Human from last year. So that's been fun. Some, fresh music for me to listen to. So that's kind of what I'm listening to most now. Cam, how about you?
I've been listening to, once again, a lot of David Bowie.
Yeah.
A lot of Queen, actually. You obviously know who Queen is.
Oh yeah.
To be honest with you, they're one of the best bands of all time. I just feel like
we are the champions.
Yeah, it's too bad Freddie passed away, but you know Adam Lambert, Will?
Yeah, I've heard the name.
Wasn't he on? Sure. No, I think it was America's Got Talent, because I know you like The Voice, and I thought he was on The Voice, but I just looked it up. It was America's Got Talent. Do you watch that show?
I do not. I tried. Me and my parents tried watching it a bit this past season, but it was just a bit too kind of, I guess, fake is the word for us. It just wasn't, as real as The Voice is. So I don't think I'll be watching that show again. I didn't think it was great.
Okay, well, Adam Lambert was on America's Got Talent.
All right,
and I believe he was runner-up and for singing. And he is now the lead singer of Queen.
That's awesome.
After Freddie passed away. Which is...
Oh, yeah, that's great, yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. I've also been listening to, obviously, some Bruce Springsteen. I mean...
When am I not listening to that man?
Yeah. I discovered this new brand. Well, one of my friends told me about him. MGMT. You might think it's pronounced management, but no, they've stated specifically that you say it, MGMT, not management. So MGMT is kind of they're kind of a poppier band, and their songs are more modern, but they actually have an 80s feel to them. I'd compare them to maybe a band like the Bleachers, another great band, who actually worked with Bruce Springsteen and just were on SNL. The Bleachers were. But MGMT, I would compare to the Bleachers. I'd compare, if you've ever heard of him, Jack Stauber. I'd compare him to that. But MGMT is a great band. They have some poppier songs. They have some rock songs. Kind of mixed between that, and most of their songs really give off a really cool vibe. And I'd recommend checking them out.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome.
Have you seen any movies recently, Will?
Oh, well, a few nights ago, we watched a movie that actually your family recommended to us, Tick, Tick, Boom, starring...
Oh, did you really?
Oh, yeah.
Did you like it?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, I just thought his performance was fantastic.
Andrew Garfield, man. He really is a legend.
He is something, isn't he? He's just a great actor, if you don't say that.
Oh, actually, I'll have to email you a clip of this, but Andrew Garfield is apparently a really big fan of Cobra Kai, and
I actually saw that.
Oh, did you really?
As well, that was awesome.
It was amazing. It just seemed
he was really, really touched by that, like really legitimately touched that they would surprise him.
Yeah, and I feel like
that
was awesome. It just shows what a nice guy he is, and a bit emotional, but
in a good way.
Yeah, and I feel like in Tick Tick Boom, that was an amazing performance, and it just shows what a great actor Andrew Garfield is. And I think Jonathan Larson must have been a really awesome guy, and a really talented genius, to be honest with you. And it really is too bad that he never got to see his own play, his most popular play or musical called Rent on Broadway. But that's really unfortunate, but I'm glad that Andrew Garfield got to play him, and he did an amazing job.
Yeah, and I'm also really happy for him that people, really loved his performance. Spoiler alert, in Spider-Man No Way Home, because I always thought he did an excellent job as Peter Parker.
And I do
In
hear
the
rumors that he might be coming back for an Amazing Spider-Man 3.
yeah. Oh, I would be there. I would absolutely love that. But I always thought he did a great job in the Amazing Spider-Mans and Spider-Man
He was
No
one of
Way
the few
Home.
bright spots in Amazing Spider-Man 2, which
For
was
sure.
not a great movie.
Yeah, well, for sure. But obviously, the Amazing Spider-Mans weren't received great, but I'm just very happy for him that people loved his performance as Peter Parker in No Way Home, and that they can see that he did an excellent job as that character. So I'm very happy
And
for him about that.
I'm glad he wasn't typecast, kind of like Tobey Maguire was actually, as Peter Parker or Spider-Man. I'm glad that people don't only think of him as Peter Parker. Granted, a lot of people do think of him as Spider-Man, but it just now people who didn't watch No Way Home, like 5% of the population, but people who didn't watch that movie probably know him from Tick Tick Boom, and it's pretty cool that he's not just he's the guy who played the Spider-Man in those Amazing Spider-Man movies, which is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
for sure. I mean, he's obviously built out a career for himself far beyond Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
So am I.
So I watched I watched a movie today actually called
Oh,
Lights Out. I watched it with my friends, and we randomly chose it. We didn't plan on it. We just were looking for a few cool movies to watch. We stumbled upon Lights Out, which it's a horror movie. You might not be into it, but it was actually pretty good. It had a few jump scares that actually got me really good. Um, but it was a good movie, but it wasn't my favorite horror movie of all time. But if you're looking for a fun horror movie, I definitely recommend checking that out. And speaking of horror movies, I just saw it in theaters the day it came out. Scream, the new Scream movie. Now, all right. I really, 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 really want to say a few spoilers for this movie. So, if you guys haven't seen this movie, then I'd recommend fast forwarding just a little bit further, because
maybe like 2 or 3 minutes.
because I'm going to talk spoilers about this. So I'd recommend fast forwarding now. All right, so I thought this movie was phenomenal. I thought all the legacy cast members were amazing, and a lot of the new cast members were awesome because, as you know, the original Scream movie featured three main characters, but a lot of amazing characters, but most of them have died throughout the four Scream movies and now a fifth. But there were three that have survived all that. Well, yeah, three main characters that survived from the first to the fifth, and big spoiler right here, one of the best characters of all time in maybe any movie was killed very brutally, actually. And that would be Deputy Dewey, one of the best characters in any horror movie, any actual movie. Oh, they really killed him. Oh man.
It is always sad when like some of the best characters die, right? Like, isn't that sad?
It really is. And he is one of my favorite characters, like I just said a million times. Uh, he, and it was really sad to see him die. And yeah, it was one of the saddest moments. And while I was watching a movie, and it really made me sad. But other than that I think my one complaint about that movie might be that they killed him too brutally. They really got him, and I feel like he didn't deserve that. But it went on to be an amazing movie. Have a lot of great scares. Have a lot of great action, great mystery. Because I'm sure you know, Scream is actually kind of a mystery. Because the main goal of it is to find out who is under the ghost face mask. And I feel like the reveals in this movie were amazing. Amber and I forget, Richie, I think it was. Amber and Richie were the two ghost-faced, and I thought they were amazing. But yeah.
Awesome. So it sounds like you would give this film an A or an A plus, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give this an A minus. I mean, there are some
Got it.
flaws. I feel like Scream is known for being very self-aware and very funny, and I feel like it was so self-aware. But there were times where I felt like it was a little too dark for a Scream movie, which is what a lot of horror movies do now. They don't really focus on comedy as much, which was it annoyed me a little bit, but not it didn't ruin my experience or anything like that. But that was just a quick thing to point out that knocked it down a few points. So yeah, overall I'm gonna give this movie an A minus, and that would be my movie review for this week. And want to say your movie of the week, or did you say it when you talked about Tick Tick Boom?
Know what? I know we already talked about this on our last podcast when we had Mike on, but this movie is so great, but I haven't gotten to like do it as an actual like movie of the week yet. So just to acknowledge how epically great it is, I'm gonna give a movie of the week to Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yeah, it really is one of the best movies I've
Because
seen
I
in a
love
long
that
time.
movie. Absolutely love that movie.
Yeah, I've seen it like 3 times, literally. So,
Wow.
and it just amazes me. It comes through every time, and it's just amazing. And I totally agree with you. Would you give that movie an A plus?
Yeah, actually, I've decided that I'm gonna kind of stop my nothing's perfect grading method that I've done in the past. I didn't like what I did there. Yes, this movie is an A plus.
Awesome, and I would agree with you there. I do give a lot of A's. I'm usually very nice when it comes to that, but yeah, I'd totally give this movie an A plus. And I think I might start reviewing on the movie review segment. I might start reviewing some kind of bad movies, because I feel like it entertains people a little more than good people movies that were obviously good. So
Sure.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What? Oh,
Cobra Kai?
Yes, Cobra Kai. I finally finished it. You finished it, I think, before me. And spoilers. By the way, spoilers. If you don't want to hear spoilers, I suggest you turn this off. So I just thought this season was such a masterpiece. I thought it nailed everything, and I feel like it was just. I think I like Kreese now.
Want to go ahead and say some more?
I just feel like, because it just shows what a horrible, horrible guy Terry Silver is. And, well, technically, Kreese did cause it. I just feel like he went a little too far. And I really would like to see that, where that goes. And I feel like Kreese doesn't deserve to be arrested. I know he's a horrible guy, but at the end of the day, he did serve in the military and fought in the wars and stuff. So I feel like he's not all bad. He's just a little twisted.
Well, the genius thing that they do on this show with guys like John Kreese is they show, obviously, his backstory and show why he acts the way that he acts during the show. When I saw that he was going to get arrested at the end of season 4, episode 10, I was kind of, hoping that he would get out of jail too, just because, of how evil Terry Silver is. But I still don't like John Kreese just because of the fact that he kind of, lured Terry Silver out of, more peaceful place in his life. But then, now that John Kreese clearly doesn't like Terry Silver, could we maybe see a John Kreese, Johnny Lawrence reunion? Maybe.
That would be very nice, actually. I would really like to see that, and it really would be nice, but I just feel like that. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Kreese is going to remain not a great guy, but I think he's not going to be as bad as he was previously, and what he was before was pretty bad.
And now he's against Terry Silver. So, like, now the whole thing in this show, it's not just gonna, there are gonna be so many things. It's not just gonna be like Daniel and Johnny against Kreese and Silver. It'll be that, and then you're gonna have John Kreese against Terry Silver. So just there are so many storylines and just more things that they can just play with and do in this show. I just think there's a chance for just there are to be so many more successful epic seasons.
Yeah, it's really is amazing how the writers did this, like we mentioned in previous episodes, but I just think they did a fantastic job.
It was as good as any season that they've done yet, season 4.
I would agree. I'd go with season 2 as my favorite season, actually, but this was definitely a close second.
Yeah, I mean, all the seasons are great. This is a boring thing to say, but they're all so great. I can't pick one over the other. I just think they're all just so phenomenally well done.
And they really are, to be honest with you. I mean, just phenomenal.
Yeah. Even though I do believe John Kreese lured him back into his ways, Terry Silver, I absolutely despise you. You are just you are a absolute maniac. You are out of your mind, out of control, and you will pay for this, Terry Silver. You will absolutely pay for this.
Whether it's Tori or John Kreese.
Absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. That is cheating beyond even how John Kreese would cheat. Terry Silver, I absolutely despise you, and you will pay for this. Get ready. If Tori ever tells what you did, you are going to get put. All right, I'm going to stop, but you get my point.
Oh, I do, believe me. I totally agree with you, Will. I think he's insane. I think Kreese is insane. And he's just nuts. Did I say Kreese? I think I just said Kreese.
You did, but I knew.
I meant Terry Silver. He's nuts. You pretty much said it all there, Will. He really is insane. But whether it's Tori or Daniel or Johnny or Kreese beating him up, whoever it is, I will be rooting for them all the way through. Because I just hate, and that's a strong word, I really do not like Terry Silver.
He's out of control. I mean, I know he was in a war, but like, still, just whatever, just puts these just ideas inside his head. It's just beyond me. He's just crazy.
He is. It's nuts, and I feel like he will definitely end up being stopped by the end of the show. But
yeah, however the show will end, I can't wait to find out. And maybe we'll see, because I believe Terry Silver said that he has friends. Maybe we'll see Mike Barnes in season 5 or down the line.
That would be nice. I would like to see that, and I think it would be pretty cool to see that, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think Kreese is actually a total nut job. And just... Did I say Kreese again?
It's okay.
He's just nuts. That's all there is to say. And is there anything else you'd like to say before we end this episode?
I just want to give you credit, because I've rewatched our parts of our last podcast with Mike quite a lot, and I want to give you credit because you said that you thought Chosen would come back, and well predicted, because here he is.
Yeah. Well, I guess so, actually. I'm impressed that I actually was able to figure that out, actually. But I feel like he had to come back at some point, and I feel like it kind of just fit in, you know?
And I think he's the perfect person to save the day and continue to train the Miyagi-Dos and Eagle Fangs now that, Daniel and Johnny can't be senseis anymore in this
Which I
deal
don't,
enough.
yeah, I don't think that's how it's gonna happen.
Right. I
Well,
mean,
then again, I don't think Johnny will be doing much karate in season 5, because he'll be with Miguel in Mexico, which is not my favorite storyline, but I'm excited to see where it goes.
yeah, well, I mean, I just trust just the brilliance of the writers
Oh yeah,
on
for
this
sure,
show,
for sure.
and I think that they will, do and make the Miguel looking for his father storyline fit into the whole arc of everything else going on in season 5, and I think they'll do it, and I have trust that they'll do it very well.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see it, but it sounds kind of ridiculous right now.
Yeah, but Daniel and Johnny, like if they can actually become like senseis again, I'll be just fascinated to see where that goes. Gosh, they're 4 seasons in, and there are still so many unanswered questions and so many other things to be excited for. So I just want to give this show a round of applause. Cobra Kai, wow, is all I have to say.
They really are doing an amazing job, to be honest with you. It's just so impressive what they're doing, and, like, great job. So I think that ends this episode of the Everything Podcast. Will, what do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. Great to be back with you today, Cam. And I guess before folks see us again, they'll see from you or me an episode of the Only Movies show.
Yep, that sounds good to me. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and keep a lookout for an Only Movies show episode. Well, without further ado, goodbye, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Woo!